A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus journeyed to a city called Nain, and his disciples and a large crowd accompanied him. As he drew near to the gate of the city, a man who had died was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. A large crowd from the city was with her. When the Lord saw her, he was moved with pity for her and said to her, "Do not weep." He stepped forward and touched the coffin. At this, the bearers halted and said,
"Young man, I tell you, arise." The dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Fear seized them all, and they glorified God, exclaiming, "A great prophet has risen in our midst, and God has visited his people." This report about him spread through the whole of Judea and in all the surrounding region. The Gospel of the Lord.
As a child, was there someone you could lean on? As an ordinary student, do you have the power to give life? And as a Thomasian, can you be the bearer of God's compassion for others? These three distinct and different questions lead us to reflect on one of the most moving encounters of Jesus in his public ministry, the raising of the widow's son at Nain. Notice the details of the gospel. The woman was already a widow, and now she lost her only son. This meant deep personal sorrow and social and economic despair in that culture. With no husband and no son, she had no security, livelihood, or one to defend her. She was truly alone and vulnerable. Indeed, in our day-to-day experience, as we walk through the streets of Pinoval, we might see someone with no economic, emotional, or physical security. While we head inside the UST campus, we might encounter a person at the Pitan begging for money because he does not have a livelihood to provide at least a meal. Maybe while riding either in España Boulevard or Lacson Avenue, you saw someone alone and was snatched and could not defend herself. And possibly it could be you or someone from your family, classmates, or friends who is vulnerable. In the Gospel, we hear these powerful words. When the Lord saw her, he was moved with pity for her. Jesus does not remain distant. He sees her tears, feels her pain, and steps into her suffering. He approaches the coffin, touches it, and with divine authority says, "Young man, I tell you, arise." And life returns. What seemed final, that is the death, becomes where God shows his power and compassion. The people were awed, saying, "God has visited his people." This passage reminds us of three things in our day-to-day experiences. First, Jesus sees our pain. Sometimes we think God is far away, but this gospel shows us a Lord whose heart beats with ours. He notices the widow's tears. He notices ours too. Whether it's grief, loneliness, or silent struggles, we cannot tell others. Jesus does not walk past. He stops, looks, and cares. Secondly, Jesus brings life. Where there is death, Jesus brings life. Where there is despair, he brings hope. The young man of Nain is a sign of the resurrection. It may not be a physical resurrection for us, but Jesus breathes new life into our faith, families, broken relationships, and weary hearts. And lastly, we are called to be signs of God's compassion. The people praised God because they saw his mercy in action. Today, God's compassion continues through us. When we accompany someone in grief, comfort, encourage, or help those who feel alone, we become like Jesus, bringing life where there is sadness. Today's world is filled with many widows of Nain, people abandoned, forgotten, or carrying silent crosses? Can we be Christ's presence to them? Finally, God has truly visited His people. In Jesus Christ, we have a God who is not indifferent to our struggles, a God who sees us, touches us, and restores life. Thomasians, I am inviting you all to bring before Him whatever feels lifeless in our hearts, whatever grief we carry, and let us allow Him to speak those powerful words again. I tell you, arise.